My name is Jacqueline Smith, and I'm doing my speech on minimum wage. I'm sure that all of us have heard from the media about increasing the minimum wage. This increasing calls from a federal, state, and local level. Is it good to raise minimum wage, and would we as Americans benefit from it? Is it hurting us more than helping us? Is the question that many of us are thinking when discussing the topic. While doing my research, I found that increasing the minimum wage may seem like a good idea, but it's not. According to Feed.org article, 5 Reasons Why Raising Minimum Wage is a bad, states that economists believe that $15 per hour minimum wage will have a negative effect on youth employment levels by 83%, adult employment levels by 52%, and the number of jobs available 76%. Even if you believe that raising the minimum wage is a good thing, think about the cause and effect it could have on our economy, how it could have hurt our youth and hurt our reasoning in bettering ourselves by going to college. After this speech, I hope that you will not only gain an understanding but agree as well about how raising the minimum wage is a bad choice, how it could affect our jobs and our cost of living as well. I will now explain how minimum wage will affect our jobs. The perfect idea to raise minimum wage is so that low-income workers can make more money while also the business not lose money. Most economists agree that the world is imperfect and confounded by many other variables that are affected by a minimum wage increase. Before the year even begins, businesses set an annual budget ahead of time before the year even begins. If minimum wage increases, then so does the business's budget, which means more money going out. With the increasing, this means that businesses would have fewer workers with fewer hours to benefit from this idea. This would make the unemployment rise as businesses wouldn't want to hire more workers as it would affect the business profit. Raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2025 would increase the pay of at least 17 million workers, but also put 1.3 million Americans out of work. According to the study by the Congressional Budget Office, the increase of federal minimum wage could also raise the wages of another 10 million workers and lift 1.3 million workers out of poverty. According to the nonpartisan CBO, the current federal minimum wage is $7.25 and last increased a decade ago. This increase in minimum wage will not only affect huge corporations but small ones as well. Smaller businesses that make little profit will no longer make as much because the cost of hiring. With the increase, this will not only make us lose jobs but also lose money. In the process of gaining money, we would lose more money by allowing the increase. Jobs will no longer support a lot of employees to work for them because the expenses will increase unemployment. I will now explain how pointless it will be to go to school if minimum wage increase. Increasing the minimum wage will make going to school, getting a job, when we can just work in fast food. Think about how college students would feel if somebody who didn't have to attend college made more money as them, just as much as them. This would make it pointless for people trying to better themselves when they can just get a minimum wage job. By raising the minimum wage, I believe we'll have a decline in college acceptances. Fast food jobs will be the equivalent of going to school for nursing, considering the fact that they are increasing. There will be no doctors, nurses, or lawyers because all will not even try to become because they believe that the money will not be worth it going to school and not also paying for it. If we increase the minimum wage, we increase our prices. If it increases, business owners will only have to pay their workers more money than they are going to make. So to benefit from it, they will have to raise their own store prices. A high minimum wage may sound like a raise, but it only will increase our cost of living. An increase in the minimum wage won't help any of us. Think about us trying to lower the poverty. We may also be increasing the cost of living, which will increase the poverty rate. If we raise the minimum wage, we'll be increasing our taxes, food, and also place we live. This is only because business owners will have to pay their workers more money, which will also make them raise the prices as well. In conclusion, during my speech, I gave you enough information to hopefully make you agree with my policy on minimum wage. Some of us believe that raising the minimum wage is a good thing, but do we realize the consequences? I believe that raising the minimum wage will hurt not only us, but our economy as well. If minimum wage was to increase, many jobs will be lost, college would be unnecessary, and cost of living would rise. Minimum wage would increase our unemployment because businesses would have to now pay their workers 10 times more. I believe it will make college students lean towards fast food jobs instead of becoming what they want to be by increasing it. Will also make our cost of living go up because we make more money. Increasing the minimum wage will be like making a perfect storm for America. The United States federal government should not increase the minimum wage to $7.25 to $15 per hour only because we will lose jobs, colleges would be unnecessary, and the cost of living would rise. By increasing the minimum wage, we could be raising our unemployment rates. Jobs will have to lay off their employees because it will be too expensive to keep them. Our cost of living would increase, whether it's food, gas, or even rent. We will be digging ourselves in a much deeper hole than we are already in. By trying to lower our poverty rate, we would be increasing our unemployment rates. If we increase minimum wage, we will be making an irrational choice to the country in which we live in. I think we should reconsider the idea of increasing the minimum wage. Think about the pros and cons of raising minimum wage, the jobs we will lose, how college students will feel, and our cost of living would increase the minimum wage worth the effort. I believe not, because it can hurt our youth and hurt our reasoning in bettering ourselves by going to college. Minimum wage should stay the same because by trying to lower something, we could be increasing another.